If you're someone who ends every day wondering where time went but still somehow scrolled for 3 hours, this video will fix that. Throughout this video, I'm going to share the simple steps you need to take to eliminate it for good, even if you feel like you've tried all the tricks and hacks out there. Most people think being productive means doing more. More tasks, more hustle, less breaks, but that's wrong. It's not about doing more. It's about designing your day so that distractions don't even enter the picture. I've used this exact 6-step system to hit deep workflow, scale my business, and go entire days without remembering to check Instagram unless it's supposed to reel. And today I'll show you exactly how to do it step by step. But for real, I'm pretty direct, so I'll tell you things straight up. Whenever you watch my videos, you really have to know your priorities. If you're an entrepreneur and rely on Instagram or any other social media platform for organic traffic, make sure you act like a creator, not a consumer. These platforms are literally designed to keep you addicted. So the choice is yours. You either make Mark Zuckerberg's pockets bigger and doom scroll for hours, wasting time and money as a byproduct, or you man up and post content, get off the app, and continue working. Once I did this, my productivity and therefore income tripled. For ages, I was wasting hours daily engaging on Instagram, liking and commenting on posts just because I was told it increases view count. The truth is, it doesn't change anything. If the video isn't performing well, make it better, period. Anyways, let's jump in. I'm Asya Hader, a mindset and performance coach for entrepreneurs, helping them reclaim 10 to 30 hours per week and increase focus so that they can scale. And I'm going to be sharing with you how to build distraction-proof days even if you feel overwhelmed right now. Thing is, you don't need a perfect calendar. What you need is a default day, a structure that runs on autopilot. And that's actually the first thing we do in our PeakFlow Elite onboarding process with my clients. If you want one-to-one support with cutting distractions and increasing focus levels so that you can scale your business, then go ahead and click one of the links in the description. But let's start here. How do you even make a default day? Or even just know what to include in it? Here's the thing where most entrepreneurs get wrong. They wake up and ask themselves, what should I work on today? That question alone already costs you 30 minutes of decision making before you've even started. Your willpower is a finite resource, and every decision you make drains it. A default day removes that entirely. It's a pre-built structure that repeats Monday all the way to Friday with 0 decisions required. You're not building a to-do list here. You're building time blocks that handle 90% of your week automatically. I'm gonna share how to build yours in 3 steps. Step 1, identify your core work blocks. What are the 2 to 3 activities that actually move revenue? And for most of you, that's content creation, client delivery, and lead generation. That's it. Everything else is literally just noise. Block out 2-hour deep work sessions for each of these. And when I say that, I also mean remove the distractions. Whether that's having your WhatsApp app open or Slack, whatever it is, remove them. Anything that's gonna distract you, you don't want it there. Step 2, anchor your energy peaks. Research shows that most people have cognitive performance between 9 a.m. to 1 p.m. And that's when your prefrontal cortex, the part of your brain responsible for complex thinking and decision making, is firing at full capacity. So why would you waste that precious energy answering emails or being on meetings? Schedule your hardest, most revenue generating tasks during this period. Always. Step 3, build buffer block. And that's where most people fail. They pack their calendar so tight that just one unexpected call ruins their entire day. So instead, add 30-minute buffer block between major tasks. Use these for admin, emails, responding to clients, or literally just breathing. I personally use this block for cleaning the house. I mean, depends on whoever is watching this video. If you're a female, then I don't want to make a sexist joke on my first video, damn. But yeah, anyways, I do the cleaning because it helps me focus more. And your environment is key. If you're working and you've got a messy area, then that's a big fat no-no. But doing this keeps you from feeling like you're constantly behind. My default day looks like this: 8 a.m. gym, 10 a.m. deep work block 1, 11:30 a.m. buffer and break, 12 p.m. deep work block 2, 3 p.m. lunch and cleanup, 4 p.m. client calls or content, 5 p.m. admin and emails if I'm not still in other coaching calls, and 6 p.m. shutdown ritual. Same thing every single day, no big decisions to make, just execution. And you may be thinking, Asya, why do you start working at 10 a.m.? Isn't that so late for an entrepreneur? Well, I live in Dubai, so 10 a.m. Dubai time is 7 a.m. UK time. So it actually works pretty well for me. Don't listen to people online telling you that you should be working at a specific time in order to make 10K a month or however much you want to make. The key to success is consistency. And the only way you're going to reach that consistency is if you make it realistic and almost effortless for you to do. When I started doing this, I went from working 12-hour reactive days just because everyone online was promoting that hustle and grind culture to working 6 fully focused hours per day. And that alone tripled my output. Why? Well, part of the reason is because I doubled down, had less decisions to make, and was putting in more action productively. That's the power of a default day. And no, you don't need to wake up at 5 a.m. every morning or do a freaking Ashton Hall morning routine to be productive. It's much more simple than you think. And I'll be explaining this more in this video and all the others that I'll make. This is only the first. But it all fails if your brain is craving dopamine at 9 a.m. That's where the next step matters even more. Your brain is not designed to focus after scrolling. When you start your day with social media, you've already lost. It takes an average 23 minutes and 15 seconds to refocus after getting distracted. Think about that. If you check your phone just 3 times in the morning, you've already lost over an hour of focus capacity before you even started working. And you may be thinking, well, I don't really care, I've been doing that and it's been working completely fine. But here's what's really happening on a neurological level. When you wake up, your brain is already in a low dopamine state. This is actually optimal for focus and deep work. The moment you grab your phone and start scrolling, you flood your system with quick dopamine hits. Instagram Reels, cat videos, TikToks, X posts, YouTube Shorts, it doesn't matter. Your brain gets trained to seek stimulation instead of sustaining attention. Dr. Andrew Huberman calls this dopamine stacking, and it completely ruins your ability to do hard things. Once your baseline dopamine is elevated, normal work feels boring. Your brain literally craves more stimulation. That's why you keep reaching for your phone every 10 minutes. I see you. So here's the rule. Delay your phone for 90 minutes after waking up. Not 30 minutes, not 60, a full 90. This gives your prefrontal cortex the time to fully activate without interference. Instead, replace that time with one anchor task. Something that builds momentum but doesn't require massive cognitive load. For me, it's going to the gym. For you, it might be a walk, journaling, or just a simple morning routine. The key is this: it has to be the same task every day, and it has to be completed before you even touch your phone. Here's what happens when you do this consistently. Within 2 weeks, your brain stops expecting that normal dopamine hit. Your focus capacity increases. Hard work starts to feel normal again. You're not fighting urges all day because you haven't triggered them in the first place. The dopamine reset isn't a hack that every other productivity guru preaches about, which you try and it doesn't even work more than 2 weeks. This is a system. And if you only implement one thing from this video, then make it be this. So now that you've reset your brain, what about managing distractions when they do show up later? Which, let's be real, they will. Instead of fighting your scroll urges all day, schedule them. Put scrolling in a 15-minute junk dopamine block on Google Calendar. This sounds counterintuitive, but it works because of one simple principle. What you resist persists. When you tell yourself, I'm not allowed to scroll, your brain becomes obsessed with scrolling. It's the same reason why telling yourself not to think of a pink elephant makes you think about a pink elephant. Whereas when you schedule it, something psychological shifts. Your brain knows it's coming, so that urgency disappears. The impulsivity fades. And most of the time, when that block finally arrives, you won't even want to scroll anymore because you're so focused on what you're doing. The dopamine of that is more than that of a quick scroll. So here's how you implement this properly. Pick one 15-minute block in the evening, ideally once all your core work is done. For me, it's 6 p.m. I call it my junk dopamine buffer. And this is where I can scroll on Instagram, check Twitter, whatever. Basically just brain rot. But only during that window. The rest of my day, my phone is either just behind my laptop where I can't see it, on airplane mode, or in a drawer. Out of sight, out of my mind. So you don't need to have an insane amount of discipline. You need to simply remove the decision entirely. What happens over time is crazy if you actually stick to it. That 15-minute block starts to feel boring. You've already done your deep work. You've already won for the day. Scrolling doesn't give you the same hit anymore because your dopamine baseline is regulated. Eventually, you'll skip it entirely or use it for something productive instead. Compare this to the average entrepreneur who's constantly grinding their way through the day, fighting the urge to check their phone every 5 minutes. They're exhausted by midday, cave in by 2 p.m., and feel guilty for the rest of the day. That's not sustainable. Time boxing your distractions makes them predictable, boring, and eventually irrelevant. Still, productivity isn't just about control. Don't start your day with inputs. Start your day with outputs. Create before you consume. Execute before you engage. That's how you build real momentum. But most people break the loop with one tiny trigger. Here's how to eliminate them completely. The biggest reason why you scroll is simple. You see the app. That's it. The cue drives the habit. There's a famous study in behavioral psychology that found that willpower counts for less than 10% of a habit change. The other 90% is environment design. You don't need more discipline. You need fewer triggers. Here's how to eliminate scroll triggers completely. First, grayscale your phone. If you've got an iPhone, I'll tell you this now. For Android users, scroll off. I'm joking. You'll have to search it up. For iPhone users, after this video, go to Settings, Accessibility, Display, Color Filters, and turn on grayscale. You'll look at your phone and it'll become instantly less appealing. Your colorful Instagram feed, it becomes completely boring. This one change alone reduced my screen time by 40%. But not gonna lie, I don't do this personally anymore, just because I've only trained myself to use social media for work, and I find most of my break times away from my phone anyways, so for me it's not really an issue anymore. But if you want to master focus and scrolling is an issue for you, which is probably why you're on this video in the first place, I highly recommend you do this. Second, move all your social apps from your home screen. And better yet, if you don't post on social media, then delete them entirely and only access them through the browser. Because the extra friction of typing out the URL makes impulsive scrolling literally impossible, because you need to be intentional about it. Think about it. Your brain always wants the easy step, so make scrolling hard. Third, turn off all non-essential notifications. You don't need to know that someone liked your post. You don't need to know there's a new comment. Batch check your notifications during your scheduled dopamine block. That's it. And here's the most powerful one. Charge your phone in a different room at night. This eliminates the morning scroll entirely. You can't check your phone in the morning when you wake up if it's not next to you. So that way you're forced to start your day with intention. So all these things here aren't hacks, they're environmental resets. And they work because they remove the decision entirely. You're fighting temptation. You're designing a life where temptation doesn't even need to exist. Now, let's make sure you actually end your day. Because most clients I work with, before they met me, they didn't. And that's why you keep scrolling at night. Just like planes don't fly 24/7, your brain doesn't either. And it needs a shutdown checklist. Make it a non-negotiable. And here's why it matters. Most entrepreneurs never actually stop working. Even when they're not at their desk, their brain is still running. They're thinking about clients, problems, revenue, content. They're in a constant state of low-level stress. And this spikes cortisol and ruins sleep quality completely. And here's what happens if you don't sleep well. Your prefrontal cortex goes offline. You wake up foggy, you reach for your phone, you start scrolling, and the cycle repeats. The shutdown ritual breaks this cycle by creating a clear boundary between work mode and rest mode. It signals to your brain, we're done. You can stop processing now. So here's my exact shutdown ritual. And if you want to copy it, then go ahead. At 5 p.m., I have my final task review. I look at what I accomplished today and check my PeakFlow AI WhatsApp message, which, by the way, if you want to know more about it, then I created a video on it, which you can check in the description below. But based off what it tells me in the daily review, I plan out my day and write my top 3 priorities for tomorrow on Google Calendar. This literally takes 5 minutes and eliminates decision fatigue completely in the morning. Around 6:30 p.m. I have my junk dopamine buffer. This is my scheduled scroll time, if I want it, but I usually don't. At 7 p.m. my emails and my messages are off. I close WhatsApp, Gmail, and every other communication platforms on my laptop, and if someone needs me urgently, they call. Otherwise, it waits until tomorrow. At 8 p.m. I have a no input boundary. That means no work, no news, I don't scroll. I just respond to non-work related Instagram DMs. I talk with my family, my partner, tidy the house, or just rest. At 10 p.m. I have no overhead lights. These lights mimic the sun and suppress melatonin. Just dimmable, warm-colored lamps at eye level only. This ritual doesn't just improve my sleep, it improves my next day. And the reason why is that I'm not carrying unfinished mental loops in the middle of the night. I wake up feeling refreshed and I'm ready to execute. After the gym, of course. One of my clients, Chris, was working 7 days a week for 3 years straight. He'd work until 11 or midnight, wake up exhausted, and repeat. We installed a shutdown ritual, and within 40 days, he had full weekends to himself for the first time in years. His energy came back, his focus sharpened, his revenue even actually increased just because he was actually waking up and working with more clarity instead of exhaustion. You guys, your brain needs closure, and without it, you'll keep scrolling, keep working, and keep burning out. The shutdown ritual gives you permission to stop, and that permission is what most high performers desperately need. So now you've got the 5-step system that's helped hundreds of entrepreneurs, founders, creators stop wasting time and actually finish their day with peace. If your days feel scattered too, then these are your building blocks. So to recap, build your default day so that you stop deciding and start executing. Reset your dopamine in the morning so execution feels effortless. Time box your distractions so that they can become boring. Remove scroll triggers from your environment completely and install a shutdown ritual so you can actually rest. This is the exact system I've used to scale my business, reclaim time, and go entire weeks without mindless scrolling. And it's the same system my clients use to gain 10, 20, even 200k in revenue whilst working fewer hours. And guys, it's my first video and I want to give you a gift. So if you want my full founder focus audit, a full 13-page guide that's not only transformed my own productivity, but the top 5% earning entrepreneurs in the UK and countless of other entrepreneurs, then you can grab it for free. It'll be the first link in my description. If this video helped you, then hit the like button and subscribe. I'll be dropping new videos on focus, performance, and scaling without chaos, and even a few challenges in there too. So now get off YouTube and go execute. I'll see you in the next one.